New Mexico, the land of enchantment, isn't just about stunning landscapes and delicious chilies. Buckle up, because beneath its turquoise skies lie some laws so strange, they'll make you wonder if lawmakers were fueled by cactus juice. We're diving into the bizarre legal oddities that make New Mexico truly one of a kind. Get ready to say yeehaw to legal weirdness. Number 7, dancing shoes, hold my sombrero. Ever dreamt of busting a move under the New Mexico sunset? A vibrant sombrero perched on your head? Well, hold your horses, literally, we'll get to that later. Because Albuquerque has a law that might rain on your fandango parade. It's illegal to dance while sporting a sombrero. This law is a relic from the dusty plains of the 19th century. Theories abound as to why. Did city officials fear overly enthusiastic jigs, causing public disturbances? Maybe a particularly energetic polka spooked a few too many Mustangs. Whatever the reason, one Albuquerque councilman, upon hearing about the law, joked,
"Well, that explains why nobody ever asked me to dance."
The truth is, this law likely isn't enforced anymore. But hey, it's a hilarious reminder that sometimes even the most well-intentioned laws can end up looking a little silly in the long run. So if you find yourself with an irresistible urge to salsa, sombrero, or no sombrero, you're probably safe. Just remember, practice your moves beforehand. Nobody wants to see a clumsy cha-cha ruin a perfectly good hat. Number 6, public display of unshaven legs. Now let's get this straight, ladies. We all know the struggle of maintaining a perfectly smooth shave, especially during those summer months. But imagine the horror of facing legal repercussions for a bit of leg stubble. There might have once been a law in New Mexico, possibly dating back to the Wild West days, that prohibited women from showing unshaven legs in public. Can you imagine the fashion police back then?
Hold on there, ma'am. That there prairie skirt ain't hiding what I suspect is a hint of shin hair rebellion.
Thankfully, this law is about as useful as a chocolate teapot. Historians haven't found any concrete evidence of it being enforced. And let's be honest, if it were real, the amount of leg shaving cream needed to keep the whole state compliant would have been astronomical. So rest assured, New Mexico's women can flaunt their natural beauty, fuzz and all. Number 5, spit happens, but not on our sidewalks. New Mexico is all about keeping things clean and classy, even on the sidewalks. That's right, folks, unleashing a juicy loogie in the land of enchantment can land you in hot water, petty misdemeanor hot water to be exact. Imagine explaining this one to the judge.
Your Honor, I plead temporary insanity brought on by a rogue popcorn kernel.
While the origins of this law are lost to the desert winds, one thing's clear. New Mexico takes public decorum seriously. So next time you feel the urge to perform a symphony of saliva, remember, a discreet cough is your friend. After all, nobody wants a surprise sidewalk shower, especially not the judge. Number 4, lunch on the run, not on Main Street. Brown Bag Brigade, beware. Las Cruces, New Mexico, once had a law that would have made your stomach growl in protest. Believe it or not, there was a time when strolling down Main Street with your trusty lunchbox by your side was a punishable offense. We're talking PB&Js confiscated, thermoses deemed dangerous weapons, the whole 9 yards. Well, maybe not the 9 yards, but definitely enough to ruin your lunchtime picnic. Thankfully, this law is as defunct as last week's tuna salad sandwich. But the mystery surrounding it remains as juicy as a freshly peeled orange. Was it a ploy by sneaky restaurateurs to boost their business? Did someone have a particularly strong aversion to thermoses clacking against lampposts? The world may never know. One thing's for sure, though. This bizarre law adds a whole new layer of absurdity to the age-old question, what's for lunch? Calling all animal lovers and horseback riders. Here's number 3, justice for beasties. New Mexico has your back and your horse's hooves. With a law that's sure to make any stallion whinny with approval. Tripping a horse in the land of enchantment? That'll land you a misdemeanor offense. Yep, enacted in 1967, this law shows New Mexico takes its four-legged friends seriously. Imagine the scene. You're out for a leisurely trot through the desert when some varmint jumps out, lasso in hand with a mischievous glint in their eye. Next thing you know, your trusty steed takes a tumble, and you're left facing the judge. Now, the only excuse that might hold water, pun intended, is if the varmint in question happens to be a tumbleweed on a particularly windy day. One local rancher, when asked about the law, chuckled and said,
Well, horses ain't exactly known for their graceful dismounts. But hey, at least the law recognizes their dignity.
So there you have it, folks. Messing with a horse in New Mexico is a surefire way to get yourself in a sticky situation. Just remember, if you see someone with a lasso acting suspicious around a horse, best mosey on over and offer a friendly howdy-doody. Number 2, voting, no idiots allowed. Believe it or not, New Mexico once had a law straight out of a Monty Python sketch. The state constitution, written way back in 1911, proudly declared that idiots weren't allowed to vote. Now, before you picture officials wielding pointy hats and asking nonsensical riddles, let's unpack this head-scratcher. The term idiot back then had a more technical meaning, referring to someone with a severe intellectual disability. But even with that definition, it's a recipe for chaos. Imagine showing up to the polls, ready to exercise your democratic right, only to be met with a judge brandishing a rubber chicken and asking,
Can you tell the difference between this and a ballot?
Thankfully, this law is as outdated as dial-up internet. Nobody's getting a civics test administered by a parrot these days. Still, it's a hilarious reminder of how much our ideas about voting rights have evolved. As political commentator Pundit Pete once said,
"Democracy is like a fine cheese. It gets sharper with age, but hopefully not too smelly."
So next time you head to the polls in New Mexico, cast a vote with a chuckle, knowing you don't have to worry about a fairness test involving brightly colored farm animals. Let's jingle all the way to the top spot with a law that almost stole Christmas. In 2007, the Albuquerque City Council proposed a resolution that would have sent shivers down any elf's spine, banning Santa Claus from city-sponsored events. Can you imagine the headlines?
Santa Claus declared public nuisance in Albuquerque.
Thankfully, cooler heads prevailed, and Kris Kringle was spared the legal naughty list. But what in the world were they thinking? Some council members argued that Santa's presence could be misinterpreted as an endorsement of religion by the city government. Let's be honest, folks. If you see a jolly man in a red suit with a bowl full of jelly, pretty sure Santa Claus is the only thing on your mind, not theology. Luckily, enough people saw the absurdity of the situation, as Councilwoman Debbie O'Malley quipped,
"Santa Claus is a symbol of giving and good cheer. We shouldn't be putting regulations on Santa."
So, rest assured, New Mexico has plenty of weird laws, but at least Santa can still spread holiday cheer without a lawyer in tow. So there you have it, folks. These weird laws might seem silly, but they offer a glimpse into the history and evolving social norms of New Mexico. Remember, laws often reflect the times they were written in, and these oddities serve as a reminder of how far we've come, and maybe how far we still have to go. Tell us what you think about this topic. If you have any strange laws from your neck of the woods, share them in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Until next time, remember where you are, and remember the law.